Hi everyone, welcome to the Hibiscus Tea Cafe. I am Dr. Ludmila and I love to talk about all things health and wellness. So grab your favorite cup of tea and meet me at the cafe for another tea chat. Now, before I introduce you to my next guest, I want to talk to you a little bit about my favorite blend of hibiscus, butterfly pea, calendula, and mint. This blend is not just great for boosting your antioxidants and consuming it right before you go to bed, a couple of hours before you go to bed so that you can nicely relax and have your body full of antioxidants to properly detox your liver. It's also a natural astringent and it gently exfoliates. So I use this in the morning, in the afternoon, when I come home from work, or right before I go to bed. It's anti-aging. And by the way, hibiscus is a natural Botox. It's full of antioxidants and it's also anti-inflammatory. If you've been in the sun and you have a little bit of redness, it's really great to spray this on your skin. So hydration is very important, of course, and antioxidant protection is also very important. You know what's also important? Supporting your collagen. When I use this on my skin, butterfly pea slows down the collagenase process, which is the enzyme that breaks down collagen. So it helps you to age gracefully. So we want to make sure that we have some of this on our face at all times. It's all natural, no chemicals, nothing harsh. You should try it on your skin. So now let's go on to our guest and let's talk more about skin health. Alrighty, our favorite cup of tea today. This is butterfly pea, hibiscus, lemon, calendula, and mint. Yes, it is. This tea is delicious, very earthy, and not only is it good for the inside, but guess what? It's good for your skin. I've used this tea as an astringent because I've dealt with some skin issues. And on that note, today I have a special guest. It's Daisy Mack from Daisy's Garden, Skin and Hair Natural Products. So we are drinking some hibiscus and butterfly pea tea, which can also be used for the skin. And we're going to talk about some other things that we can use for the largest organ in our body. But I can't be the only one drinking tea here. Daisy, would you love to try one of our blends? I don't think you've ever tried this.
I don't think I've had that one either.
No, this is our butterfly pea hibiscus. I don't think you want it.
I would love to try it. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Now this tea is naturally blue, but because I have lemon in there, it turns purple.
Oh.
All natural. Isn't that cool? And delicious. You like?
I love.
Now there's a little kick to it.
It is. The lemon really sets it off.
So you like my tea?
I love your tea.
So, now this is the first time you're trying this one, but remember when we first met, we were doing the spiced hibiscus. And I was telling you then that I love my teas, but I don't just love them to drink them, but also because I use them for my skin. And as I mentioned to you then, I don't know if you remember, I've been trying so many different products for my skin because I've had skin discoloration. Then they said it was not vitiligo, but I had some kind of discoloration after a lot of stress. And then you came up with your products and I started trying them on my skin and my hair. And I'll tell all the audience, this is a product that you can try on your skin and your hair. And it's been amazing for me. One of the things that I love is that with your skincare products, I don't have any breakage on my edges. You know, we love our edges. We love some edges, right? And I use the spray, I use the lotion, I use the skin products. So I'm going to let you talk about it because I really want the audience to learn about your products, especially because they're all natural. That's the part that I love the most. They're all natural and they're amazing.
And that's really what inspired me to make the products because I wanted to make a product that was all natural.
Yeah.
And so my background is in hair and I was opening a natural hair salon and I wanted to use natural hair products. But this was the 90s and there weren't really products out like that.
Yeah.
So my mom suggested, hey, I can make you something. And I'm like, really? My mom started the product line. I had to give her the credit, seriously. And she's a naturalist. She's an herbalist. She's into aromatherapy and home remedies. She's a whiz in the kitchen. And all of that culminated. She really is. And all of that culminated into Daisy's Garden products. And they're just wonderful. So the main product is the lemon butter cream.
I love it.
Everybody loves that lemon butter cream. And one of the reasons why is because you can use it on your hair and you can use it on your body.
And you know, if I may interject there for a minute, one of the things that I thought was amazing with that is that like you said, you can use it on your hair and your body, but it really shows us that we can't just focus on being healthy on the inside. We also have to take care of our skin. And I noticed when I started going plant-based, all we were focusing on was what we eat. But I don't think there was anybody who was talking to me about what we need to do with our skin, other than the things that I already knew. But everybody that I talked to about the plant-based lifestyle was all about what we eat. Now, of course, what we eat is important because we know that our microbiome is what feeds our skin. Right? It's the largest organ of our body. But it makes sense that we start with what we see in the mirror every day, because that's what I feel society has been covering up a lot. We cover psoriasis, acne, we cover all of that with all these creams, with all these things that have chemicals in it. But your stuff has been so perfect for that.
Thank you. So let's unpack some of that.
Yeah.
So, we like to be healthy with what we eat, right? Yeah. Those of us who are, and we think that it's just going to radiate out into our skin, and it does. But at the same time, what are you putting on your skin? Because as you said, it's the largest organ on the body,
right?
In the body. It's the largest organ that we have, and it's very absorbent.
Tell me about it.
So whatever you're putting on your skin is absorbing, it's getting into the body, it's getting into the bloodstream, it's going to affect the microbiome, right? So it matters just as much as what we put inside our body. And I think that a lot of times with holistic lifestyles discussions and lessons, that the skincare kind of it's kind of like an afterthought to the food.
Well, because also I remember going out to stores with my daughter and looking for plant-based makeup. It's very rare to find that in stores. Maybe now there's a little bit more. I haven't bought some in a long time because now I have natural products and I don't worry so much about makeup anymore. But I think that when we think about plant-based lifestyle and we look at what we're doing there, we really need to educate people on how important it is to also take care of what's on the outside.
Yes.
Because we still, a lot of us still wear makeup. A lot of us still want to do some things to enhance our looks, right? And then at the same time, I've seen people who are plant-based and they still have acne. I've met people who are plant-based who have autoimmune conditions that have been, reduced a little bit, but are still, suffering, if you will. They still have those issues to deal with. And then I also meet people that say, well, your skin looks so beautiful. What do you do? And when I tell them all I do is natural products, they're like, really? That's it? Just a few ingredients? So tell me about your ingredients.
So one of the ingredients a few very important ingredients. We have the lemon butter cream, right? And it's made from a base of olive oil, coconut oil, shea butter, right? And we melt it all down, and then we add the essential oils. And to me, part of the magic happens with the oils alone, but another part of the magic happens with the essential oils. Two in particular that are my favorite. One is tea tree oil and one is neem seed oil. And both are antimicrobial. So with the tea tree oil, you can actually treat skin conditions, a cut, a rash, a burn. You can effectively treat it with the lemon butter cream because not only does it have the tea tree oil in it, but it also has aloe in it. And aloe is so rejuvenating for the skin. And then the other ingredient that I mentioned, neem seed oil, it's really good for skin discoloration, skin conditions. It's good for eczema. It's good for dermatitis, dry patches.
Do you hear all of that?
Yes. If you have really, really dry skin, even if you're not to the point of eczema, right? And you try to put regular lotion on it, your skin will laugh at that regular lotion. So what's really amazing about the lemon butter cream is that it does absorb, the skin absorbs it. It absorbs it beautifully. And there's no perfume or fragrance, but there are actual essential oils that are going to facilitate in healing. So I have people who would come to my salon to get their hair done and they love the products and they'll take it home. And then they started out buying it for their hair and now they're buying it for their child's eczema. And I love that. Because when you have a truly natural product, you're going to be able to get more than one use out of it.
And then also, I want to talk a little bit about across ages. You're already alluding to the the youth who can deal, or the children who can benefit from your products. But also, I remember recently you told me about a story from this elderly lady who had some skin issues.
Yes, so that has been exciting. So, I just a little bit of background information about me. I moved to Florida from Georgia. Okay. And in Georgia, I did hair, had a salon. And in Florida, I am just starting kind of from scratch, just selling my products, but selling my products without the salon to market it through. And at first that was challenging. It's still challenging, but it's allowing me to see that my product is not just a product for this one group of people.
Right.
And so living in a senior community and vending at the farmers market in the senior, a 55 plus community, right? And and vending in the farmers market. So a ton of my customers have mature skin. And so I have one customer in particular who had some bruising on her arm because the veins are more fragile, and she had some dry patches on her skin, and her skin was just very, very thin and bruised up, and she'd pick at it so that would make it worse. And so I didn't really know that the lemon buttercream would do something for her, but I just felt like it would. So I gave her a sample to rub it up, rub on her arm, and she loved immediately. She loved the results.
Right.
So she bought some, and she came back a week later, and she sang the praises of that lemon buttercream. She showed her arm, and she comes and she shows all the customers, look at my arm. Look at my arm. It's so much better. So that was really refreshing to know, like, hey, this is also good for skin, for mature skin and crepey skin or bruised skin. And that was just delightful to find out. So this is one of the products that I wanted to feature here today. This particular one is called the Orange Body Glaze, which is a variation of my all-purpose butter. And the reason why I came up with this product is because I was very frustrated with the amount of people who are using Vaseline on their skin.
Yes, yes.
And most people just don't understand how toxic Vaseline really is. People don't understand that the word Vaseline is a spin-off from the word gasoline, that it is petroleum jelly. This is stuff that they scoop from the bottom of oil rigs. Now, in the defense of Vaseline, they go through an astringent refining process, but really how much of that chemical is left behind? Or if you're not getting it from Vaseline, you're getting it from a cheaper company, how much of that is, and it doesn't have a scent, it doesn't have much of a color. It seems like a pure product, but it is extremely toxic. And we put it all over our faces, we put it all over our bodies, we put it on our feet. And so I was inspired to make this product because of that. And what I found is that it does way more than Vaseline. And so I went to Costa Rica a couple years ago, and I got sunburned because the sun in Costa Rica is
a little hot.
It's intense. And I got sunburned, and I had some of this with me, the all-purpose butter. The all-purpose is this, but without any scent, okay? And so I rubbed it on. By the next morning, the sunburn was healed.
Nice.
So I love it for that reason. Also, living in this community, we spend a lot of time in the sun.
Yes.
So it really helps with pre and post sun care. Also, with chlorine and the chemicals that we, expose our skin. It dries our skin, it depletes it. So after getting out, you can put, after showering, of course, you get all the chemicals off, and then you put that on. It helps to replenish the skin of the nutrients and the moisture that it's being eaten. And it's great for feet as well. It's really, really wonderful. And then the orange glaze has sweet orange in it, which has skin softening properties.
Okay.
And one of the things that I like about this is when I first made it, because people kept saying, oh, I love this, but do you have one with a scent?
Okay.
So I said, okay, I'm going to make one with a scent. And I just happen to have some sweet orange. And so I added sweet orange along with some other scents to it. It smells divine. And so thank you. But after I added it, before I sold it, I wanted to try it.
Right.
So I put it all over my feet at night. Now I'm on my feet a lot, and I wear nothing but sandals.
Right.
So my feet get very dry. I get calluses, and also my feet are the perfect testing ground for something like that. So I put it on my feet right before I went to bed, and when I woke up the next morning, my feet were so soft, and I couldn't understand what in the world happened that made this product so different from the other one.
Right.
And after doing some research, I found out that sweet orange is a wonderful skin softener. So it's like a boosted property, you know. So yeah, this is the sweet orange body glaze.
I mean, when you gave me the sample, I absolutely loved it. And it just amazes me every time that we have to go back to the Garden of Eden, because there is so much in there. There are true treasures in there that we don't know, but once we know, then I think that it's the perfect time for us to just go natural and stop trying to use all these chemicals. If you walk into any store, you see so many skin products. And I remember when my skin began to discolor, I was told to try to bleach my skin, try this, bleaching, this, that. And the only thing that I remember ever being offered that was natural was one of my professors when I was getting my doctorate in public health. He was from India. Dr. Hussain, shout out to Dr. Hussain. He actually went to India and called me during one of his office hours. And I thought, oh, did I do something? He brought me some neem. Oh. So he didn't want to say anything. I guess he was concerned about maybe not offending me. But he noticed what was going on with my skin, and he was like, I brought something.
He knew what you needed.
He knew what I needed. Isn't that something?
That is incredible.
So, and so that's what I love about your products. Now, the other thing that I love is that you can have these small little size products that you can just take with you everywhere, because when we're traveling, we're always looking for stuff, right?
Yes.
But I also wanted to ask you to talk to us a little bit about, how do you foresee this working in a world where a lot of stuff is so artificial? How do people respond to your products in general?
What I have found is that in this artificial world that we're living in, that you have people that are on board with artificial, and you have people that are trying their hardest to run from artificial, and they are looking for alternatives. And that is my sweet spot. And it took me a while to learn that, because for a while I was screaming into a void, hey, stop using that Vaseline. And then I suddenly realized these people don't care, but these people do care. And that is who I'm talking to.
Right.
We're not trying to change minds or convince anybody of anything. If you know you care about ethical ingredients, then this is where you should be.
And it's an investment in yourself.
It is.
I always tell people, when you're buying something that's good for you, when you know it's healthy and you know it's working, don't see it as, oh, I'm spending money that I'm giving to the person who's producing it. See it as, I'm investing in me. And it's all about self-love, right?
It is.
And I also wanted to ask you, because on that note, when we're talking about people taking care of themselves, we so often, when we're talking about taking care of ourselves, we're always talking about what we're eating. But how do you see this working side by side with what we're eating? Because your products are so natural, right? How do you think people will be able to respond to this if we bring this to the market, and not necessarily as a product, just as a outside product, but something that also helps you on the inside? Because technically it does.
It does.
Right?
It really does. And I think some of that is education. So like, when I set up my display, I like to have information about what tea tree oil does, and also too, I want to add, I know I mentioned that tea tree oil and neem seed are my two favorite ingredients in the lemon buttercream. They're also very stinky ingredients. And I think it's important to mention that the product doesn't smell like it. It's a wonderful lemongrass, uplifting lemongrass scent, right? So part of it is the aromatherapy. We all know of the benefits of aromatherapy. The lemongrass lifts the spirits, and lavender relaxes you, and peppermint gets rid of headaches. So there's the aromatherapy aspect of it. And then there's the part where you can eliminate putting more chemicals. Or medicine. Like, the minute someone tells me they have a prescription for eczema, I think, okay, try this first.
Right.
And then that definitely helps to make a difference. And then taking it to a whole other level, earlier we were talking about people who care and people who don't care, right? You might have some people that don't care about being natural, but they have uncontrollable dandruff. right? And this product is natural and it'll get rid of that dandruff because the neem, because it's so good for eczema, it makes it good for anything that's patchy or flaky.
And then interestingly, a lot of times dandruff is a way of your body saying, I want to get rid of some things. It's a way of saying we need to detox, right? And so I think for a lot of us, we try, people do want to be healthier. I believe that, and people want to eat healthier things, but we also eat a lot more processed foods. And what came to my mind was when you were talking about the product just now, is that in regular skincare products, we also find a lot of steroid-based products. Things that are supposed to be medicinal.
Medicinal, right.
Because there's something going on with our skin. We go to the doctor, they give us some ointment or something for our skin. Steroid-based products can oftentimes affect your microbiome. And then you get inflammation. And when you get the inflammation, you get other problems. It can present any kind of way, depending on what you are genetically sensitive to. So I find that having natural products also helps you to make sure that when you're putting it on the outside, your skin is eating it, because our skin is a living organ. So our skin eats the products. So when it comes inside our bloodstream, when it goes into our microbiome, we make sure that we have the right stuff in there, so we're not confusing ourselves and creating other problems on the inside when we have stuff on the outside. So that's why I just love your products. I love the nature, the naturalness of your product. And what I also like is that there are products that say natural flavors or natural something, but it doesn't name anything. You named everything. And I can pronounce it all.
I do. I do. I think it's important to list all the ingredients. First of all, I'm making the product personally, so I know everything that goes in it, right? And trying to market my products to people who are conscious shoppers, people who care about the ingredients. So they're ingredient readers, and those are the ones who, they're looking, they're turning it over. It's so funny because this particular product doesn't have the ingredients, but it's actually only 3 ingredients in this product. And this is a great new topic that we could talk about, and that's the exfoliating.
Oh, yes.
The importance of exfoliating. So
it's your coffee scrub?
This is my coffee scrub.
Wonderful.
And it has coffee, it has cane sugar, and it has coconut oil and some essential oils, and that's it. And you can use it. It smells wonderful. It smells like coffee. I think it has a nice kind of coffee scent to it.
Ooh.
You like it? It has,
yes.
It has some orange. So I'm gonna be honest, I tried to add essential oils to it, but the coffee smell kind of overpowered it. So I think when moving forward, we're just gonna let it be a coffee scent. And so what you do is you put it on the skin and you just massage it. It's very abrasive, right? So it'll go ahead and it'll remove like a whole top layer. Yes, and that is so important to healthy skin. I think that it doesn't matter how much shea butter you put on your skin. It doesn't matter how pure your soap is. If you have layers and layers of dead skin that you need to exfoliate. And so the coffee scrub is a great way to get rid of. And then I usually use like a mitt, an exfoliating mitt, and do it in the shower. It's messy, it's very, very messy. And you exfoliate and you get rid of that dead skin. And that also helps with smooth appearance, that also helps with aging skin. That also helps with crepey skin. Now that I'm maturing, not quite 55, but maturing, I noticed the décolleté area tends to start to look a little tired, And what I found that helps tremendously is exfoliating that area regularly and moisturizing it regularly.
And that's a good point, because when we're talking about exfoliating, we're always talking about, in my circles, it's always about the face. Exfoliate your face, but you also exfoliate everything.
It's so important. The elbows.
Compartmentalize things. The body loves the whole part. It's one organ. It's the whole skin. I love it.
And I like to use it on pumice. I like to get a pumice stone. And scrub my feet with it as well. And then you follow up with that orange glaze.
Now, I just want to touch back on something. I want to go back a little bit about something else. Sunscreen. So there's a lot of information about sunscreen, but a lot of us Black folk, we don't think we need sunscreen.
So, that's a loaded topic.
I know.
It is a loaded topic. So we all need sunscreen. Let's start there. I know people of color who have melanoma, skin cancers, and other skin conditions that are caused from the sun.
While we're talking about the skincare products, it's also still important to impress upon us that we all need to protect ourselves from the sun.
Yes.
We really do.
Yes.
And while not everybody believes in it, climate change is real and it's here. And the heat and the radiation from the sun is becoming more and more intense. I mean, this summer has just been so hot.
Yes.
And we say that every summer, so it's getting hotter and hotter.
It is.
And we have to do things on the outside, even though we're doing things on the inside. We have to protect ourselves because melanoma is real and everybody is prone to it. And we're not less prone to it because we are of color. We wish we would, but no, we still have to do things. And I truly believe that if we put the right things in our body is able to fight better. But it doesn't mean that we don't put the right topical things on top of our body because the environment is there and we can't always protect ourselves from the radiation. We can't protect ourselves when we're walking in the sun.
That's true.
So on the one hand, we need our vitamin D, as they say, we can get it from our direct sunlight, but you still need to protect yourself. So how do you do that? Which is why we need to be concerned about what products we put on our body so that it does the right thing and it does it naturally.
Let's talk about that a little bit more. I totally agree with that. So a couple things that you can do. One, wear your sun hats.
Yes.
So I've collected sun hats over the years, but I never really wore them. They were more like a fashion thing.
Yes.
But since I've come to Florida, I realized I have to protect my skin. I moved to Florida right before I turned 50, which means my skin is just starting to age, and this is not the time for me to just start allow myself to be exposed like that. So wearing your sun hat's important. Now, there's a lot of controversy around sunscreen and how harmful it can be.
Right.
Now, I'm not here to spread any propaganda about that, but when you are choosing your sunscreens, you want to make sure that you're reading the ingredients.
Absolutely.
And you don't want to just grab the name brand stuff that you see at the drugstore or at the Walmart. Do a little research and try to find some with ethical ingredients. Now, that's an area that I have yet to explore. And I should and I will because I'm allergic to sunscreen. So I can't even use sunscreen on my face. If I do, I will get a rash. My whole face will turn into a rash. And so what I've been experimenting with is just using pure coconut oil. And it may sound like, you're frying chicken or something, but you don't fry. Listen. Pure, because I suggested it to someone and she was like, girl, you're trying to cook me. I'm like, no. Because your skin absorbs it quickly. You put it on your face or your body, your skin absorbs it very, very quickly. So you're not left shiny. And I have no scientific proof behind this, but I get very red and burned very easily. And I have not been burned since I've been doing that. So I'm excited about exploring, further what I can make with the right ingredients that will produce a natural sunscreen. But if you are ready to start using your sunscreen, or if you're already using a mainstream sunscreen and you want to explore, do some research online because I have heard so much bad press. They say that there's more skin cancer since we've been using sunscreen than before.
A lot of diseases that we will say have been coming up in the last decades. If you look at the trend of the diseases, it comes along with the trend of more and more artificial things in our food, more and more artificial things in our products that we put on our skin. And it just goes on and on and on. And I remember in 2005, when my skin began to discolor, I started to realize how many artificial things are in our skin, right? And so for me, similar to what you're saying, I can't use the traditional SPF sunscreen because it has all these chemicals in it. And no matter what I look at, there's so many chemicals in it, and we still don't know why my skin was discoloring. So why am I going to put another chemical on top of that and not know if that triggers it? Right? So I don't do that, but I use shea butter and coconut oil. And I think it's important that we show people who have been struggling with some serious skin diseases like psoriasis, that there are some natural products out there. Now, people will say, well, there is no cure for psoriasis, but you can reduce the effects of the symptoms of psoriasis naturally instead of using medication after medication, because a lot of medications are steroid driven.
and they affect your microbiome. So why not use something natural?
Mm-hmm.
And we know it works. And just like I tell people, use tea as your astringent. You exfoliate with this tea product, and it works. Butterfly pea has been doing so many amazing things for a lot of people with their skin. Just a simple cup of tea. You could literally take this tea, no sugar in there, just put it on your skin. That's your exfoliator. Similarly, these products are amazing. There's nothing artificial about them. And I would encourage us to look more to the natural, because as we go into a world that's more about comfort and artificial things, we deserve to still take care of ourselves, love ourselves enough, invest in our health, and do that on the outside and on the inside.
Yes, because really it's an extension of self-care. A lot of times when we think about self-care, we think about going to the spa, getting our nails done. And that, don't get me wrong, that is self-care, but there's a much deeper level of self-care that must be, not just the skincare, but the mind and the emotion and the spirit. It's a holistic approach to skincare and to self-care, right? So I wanted to talk a little bit about this particular product. This is one of my favorites. This is the lemongrass vodka spray. Yes, vodka. People are like, vodka? Oh my gosh, can I drink it? I'm like, I wouldn't recommend that. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's natural, but you shouldn't drink it. But a funny story, it was around the time that COVID hit, and we were all being quarantined.
Yes.
And the world was just in pure chaos. Everyone was freaking out. Nobody wanted to touch anybody. You better not sneeze or cough in public, you know.
I remember.
And I had a salon at the time. I think it might have been right before they shut everything down. And I had my cleaning products. I was cleaning, constantly cleaning. Bleach, Lysol, bleach.
Right.
And then I just, one day I said to myself, you're going to kill yourself with Lysol before COVID ever gets to you. And that's what inspired me to make the lemongrass vodka spray, because vodka kills germs without the harsh chemical side effect as you would get with like a Lysol or something like that. So it has the wonderful lemongrass scent, and then it has enough vodka in it. And what's really cool about it is it could be used as an air spray or a room spray. It could also be used as a linen spray, or you could spray it on your body. So when we're talking about all the different things that we're trying to employ for natural, natural care, skincare, we can also talk about perfumes and what we're spraying on there.
So the vodka wouldn't dry out your skin because of the alcohol?
I think so. I mean, you wouldn't use, I've never experienced that. Let me say that. You're not going to just spray it all over your body. You're just going to do like a squirt here or there, and then you use your lotion, then you'll be fine. Yeah, you'll be fine. Because you're not putting that much. First of all, it's a very concentrated scent, so you won't need a whole lot of it to get that smell.
Right.
And it also gets smoke out. Like people who smoke in their cars, it'll get that smoke scent out of the car. So it's not just covering it up, but it's literally neutralizing. Yeah, and it has real vodka in it. We use Tito's.
Okay, Tito's. Awesome.
Yeah. So that's the lemongrass vodka spray.
Well, those are some wonderful products. So any plans for the future with any more natural products?
Well, we're going to see what the future holds. I would really like to get into some classes, like teaching. I really want to teach people more. I want to help bring more awareness, because I feel like just kind of the state of the world right now, everything is expensive. You have tariffs and all this stuff happening. Things are the prices of everything's driving up. The products that the big companies are making are getting more and more toxic. So it's almost like whether you care about being natural or not, you need to be aware, right? And if you are in a position where you can't necessarily afford to buy these things, most of these things you can make at home,
right? That's so
on your own.
I was going to say, because in the era where things are a little bit, well, not a little bit, there's a lot of uncertainty. All right, let's not fool ourselves. There's a lot of uncertainty. But what my concern is that people will be less incentivized to take care of the things that are necessary, such as ourselves, our body, inside and outside. And so the tendency is to try to save money. And when we try to save money, we cut those things out that actually matter most to us. So we're going to get the cheapest skincare, right? When the cheapest skincare actually is the worst for our body.
Mm-hmm.
So like you said, but we have things in our cabinets that can actually help
Yes,
us, right?
let's talk about that a little bit. Some of the things that I like to use at home when I don't have access to what I normally use. Certain things I keep on deck: a bottle of olive oil, a jar of coconut oil, sea salt, and tea tree oil. You can do so much with those things alone. So, excuse me.
Okay.
So, olive oil is a great moisturizer, just plain olive oil. You could use it all over your body. You could use it on your hair. You could oil your scalp with it. And the only thing is it smells a little bit olivey, but you can put a couple drops of essential oil in that and problem solved.
Right.
So if you are in a position where you don't have lotion or whatever, go in the kitchen and get pure olive oil. Now, this doesn't work with the other oils, but olive oil, yes. Coconut oil, yes. Coconut oil mixed with the salt makes a great exfoliant. The coconut oil by itself, I like to use as a sunscreen, but I can't say scientifically that it's a great sunscreen, but my face doesn't burn when I use it, and I'm sitting in direct Florida sunlight, So those are like some of the things. And then tea tree oil, anytime I get anything like a breakout or a bump or a rash or cold sore, anything like that, pure tea tree oil, and you don't need Neosporin. You don't necessarily have to rub yourself down with alcohol and all of the first aid chemicals that we tend to use. Tea tree oil can help you bypass a lot of that.
And it's also good for toe fungus.
And it's good for toe fungus.
And I know that personally because I had it. And then the other thing that I love is that you can take some black tea. If you have any black tea in your cupboard, you can take a foot bath with your black tea and do that on a regular basis to prevent toe fungus. Because black tea is fermented. And then when you do that, afterwards, you put some tea tree oil on your nails and you'll be fine.
Oh.
Yeah. When my dad was sick, my dad passed away, unfortunately, but when my dad was sick, we were taking care of him. We would give him foot baths and we would soak his feet with black tea and got rid of the fungus and then add some tea tree oil in it. And he'd had toe fungus for a while. And, a lot of our men don't like to take care of their toes. I'm just saying. So, men, take note. This is also for you. Everybody needs to take care of their toes. Everybody needs to take care of their skin. And we can't just leave it up to the women. The men have to take charge of their body as well. And you can do that with simple things. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with soaking your feet yourself. If you don't want to go to the spa because it costs a lot of money, because things are uncertain or you just can't afford it or you just don't feel like it. And then a lot of us may not want to go because maybe sometimes there you catch something, I've heard many stories about people saying, I didn't have any problems with my toes until I started going to the spa. So all kinds of things happen. The spas have their place, but if you want to do something about self-care, men and women can do it themselves. I remember one time I was telling my husband, I said, you know what? We're going to go on a date. And what we're going to do is we're going to soak our feet together. And he looked at me like, really? And I said, yes. And when I pulled out the tea bags, he was just too through. And I said, oh no, we're going to do this together. We watched the movie. We had so much fun. And now he loves it. He loves it.
That's cool.
Yeah, but I still have to tell him you have to do this yourself. I'm ready for but okay, go ahead and help yourself. Yeah. So, but no, we can do so much ourselves. And again, I can't emphasize enough, as you say, there's a lot of stuff. If we open up our kitchen cabinet, we have a lot of things in our kitchen cabinet that I bet we just didn't know that those things are very natural in helping ourselves with our self-care.
So
not just about having the kitchen so that we can eat. We can use the kitchen for our skin as well. So I just really want to thank you for this session. I loved it. I hope all of you loved it too.
Thank you for having me.
And I need you to check out these products because I'm telling you, they're amazing. We'll have her information, Daisy's information in our description. So check it out and make sure you follow Daisy as well.
Oh, thank you, Mila. Thank you so much for having me. It's been such a delight.
Now that you know about all these different ways of taking care of your skin and hydrating your skin and protecting your skin, make sure that you check our website and get our butterfly pea right here. You can get it at www.hibiscusandwholefood.com. Have some fun with it. Love your skin, love yourself. Your body will thank you for it. Enjoy. Thank you so much for joining us at the Hibiscus Tea Cafe. It is not too late to like and comment on our channel and make sure you subscribe so that we can continue to bring you more valuable information. And until next time, take care of yourself. Health and wellness is yours.